Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another amazing episode of John's Talk Show. This episode is a very special one as we are moving closer to Halloween. Very scary, if you know what I mean. So, for these next 4 episodes, I am going to be going ahead and talking about some very lovely topics that are Halloween themed. Let me just real quick move on to this month. So, as for this episode, it is if I'm checking my calendar, it is the 30th of September. But I'm gonna still do an episode of Halloween because why not? Just because, well, I don't know. It's kind of too late for that now. I'm just kidding. So, before we actually go into the actual Halloween stuff, I want to talk about some Halloween things that I have been through, some experiences that I've done over the years of my personal Halloweens. But to be honest, I don't really remember a whole lot because, well, time kind of flies by and you kind of forget some things. But why not? I'm gonna talk about some of this and let you guys know some personal experiences I've been through for this upcoming Halloween. And for the rest of the episodes, the 7, 14, 21, and 28 of Fridays of the amazing October, I'm thinking of reading some stories, some creepy Halloween themed stories, solo. I'll try to find some stories or probably make one. I don't really know. But I'm going to try to find some horror stories to kind of read, give you guys some stories from other people that have wrote that probably have some really good reviews or something like that. But yeah, that's going to be basically what we're going to be doing for this upcoming October. For today, let me tell you what I've done in my own Halloween. Because for my Halloween, Halloween, that's not a word. So I'm pretty sure for a lot of Americans out there, you guys probably go on trick or treating, for your family and your kids to get some candy because it's one of those kinds of nights where you would go and go trick or treating. I went trick or treating probably once that I can remember. I know that I've went on Halloween trick or treating before. I just don't really have a whole lot of memories. Like I've kind of forgot a lot of it because well, I don't really look back a lot on my life anymore. But let's begin with some one memory that I remember that it's the last one that I think I've ever actually went on trick or treating. It is the only and last time I've went on trick or treating, but it's I basically remember I went with my I went over to my sister's, which is my big sister, not my little sister. I don't have a little sister. I am the youngest that I know of my brothers/sisters. So, but I went over to my sister's. She's married and she has like 3 or 4 nephews. I think she has a niece. I don't know. I haven't been over there in like a while, but I know she has she has 3 nephews that I know. I'm not gonna say their names for the sake of this episode, but I went trick or treating with them because I know that at the time that I was getting pretty damn old to go trick or treating. I mean, to me, I kind of felt like as if the Halloween experience just wasn't really going for me anymore. So I thought that this would be like the last time that I would go trick or treating. So I dressed up as a wizard at the time. It was pretty much like a creepy version of a wizard, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was a pretty interesting costume, and even though the hat was like a witch version of the hat, we didn't really have any like Halloween costumes or anything. We didn't really have like a Halloween we didn't have a male version of a wizard, so I had to go stick with a witch kind of combination because they had a witch hat at the time, so I thought that I would use it for the sake of fitting with my costume, so that worked pretty good. And I do remember another version of my Halloween. I did go as a zombie at the time because that one's a pretty common outfit that I would see all the time on Halloween. It's the most easiest thing. I remember they gave me makeup, some fake blood and stuff, and that was a really nice one. And we just go trick or treating and stuff like that. And the neighborhood that we go in is like a suburban house area, so obviously there is, you know, it's like a little neighbor. It's like it's actually surprisingly really close to the elementary school that my nephews and I go to. I don't go there anymore, but at the time, it is. I think I still went there. Probably not. I think might have been at high school at the time. But I wanted to kind of just enjoy the moment with my nephews, so I thought that would just be something we would do. Uh, I do remember my sister's husband did go as like a prisoner, and I don't remember what my sister went as. I think she was pretty normal. I don't really remember, but it was just one of those kinds of days where you just kind of enjoy some moment with your family, and yeah, I mean, nothing really wrong with it. I mean, it's just enjoying time with your family and that kind of thing. So it's a nice pretty nice nights. But I do remember what I did after Halloween, which was the only other night. I think it was the last time I ever went to my sister's on Halloween. It wasn't last year. I think it was the year before. I could be wrong. But I went to my sister's since I don't go Halloween trick or treating anymore. I decided to go over and hand out candy. And excuse me. And I would just kind of sit by the house and just kind of let the bowl out and just let people take a couple pieces of candy and go trick or treating and that kind of thing. I didn't really try to scare anybody. I don't think I really had any kind of costume that year. I think I was just kind of going as myself and just trying to make sure that people don't take too much. And then of course I would eat quite a bit of pieces of candy, which really was not a good idea because I think I ate a little bit too much for my body to really like, but I didn't really puke or anything, but I did kind of feel a little bit of that symptoms of like, hey, you're kind of eating too much. Maybe you should kind of calm the fuck down. But hey, the pieces of candy are fucking like, come on, candy is fucking amazing to eat. Like, I don't know why. It's enjoyable. But anyway, so that's pretty much my experiences. I don't really go trick or treating anymore. Um, but it's those kinds of amazing Halloween moments that you can kind of just look back on and kind of just rethink about and wish that you were back in those old days. And yeah, it's very fun back then. But for the most part, I don't have a lot of memories because my memories just kind of forgot them over time because I just don't really go trick or treating anymore, and that's kind of sad, if I'm being honest. Now, let me say, um, I do know there has been occasions where, as a family, there has been multiple occasions where we did actually decorate our house. My sisters did the same thing. Every year we would go into the kitchen and we just kind of like just kind of carve some pumpkins. I think I don't remember which ones I used to carve. I know that I did draw my own pony on the pumpkin. That was hard because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I just kind of went for my own design because I didn't really care about like what we were drawing. I just kind of wanted to make something that was just kind of funny and just kind of stand out from all the rest. It wasn't easy, but I did my best. So I'm assuming that's good enough when it comes to making a your own kind of custom design. I don't remember what other kind of design. I think I did go with like some pretty basics and like a little because we used to have a book and it had like a bunch of different designs in it that you can go for. That's what they would basically do, my nephews and stuff, since they don't weren't like artists themselves. And they would always go with those kinds of custom designs, and we would always leave them out in like the front of the house and just kind of let them, look up upon people. And I remember when I used to be in my apartment, my very old apartment. I think we did go for like a spider one. I think it was for the apartment, and I think it was just for the apartment one. We had like a spider, kind of like fake cobwebs. So that was interesting. When it comes to Halloween, and I think they did have some. I don't know if it's for Christmas or Halloween, but I think they do have like blow ups too. I don't know if it was my family, like I don't know if it was my mom, my brother, and Josh, or that was for my sister. But I know we had blow ups. I just don't remember if it was from Christmas or Halloween. Those are always interesting. I always see them, like especially at work. Very recently, we have like the whole department. We have like a whole special area where the mod team would usually like change the whole area out for Halloween stuff. And I always go by there, and I always see like the different kinds of things there. And I think last year it was the stuff that was there were different, but this year that there's even more stuff, especially the blow ups and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of very creative things that people have done, and I've seen a lot. I even went up to a house before, and they would have like a fog machine, and all that really crazy thing. And I think there was a house where there was a guy that hid in the house, or there was like a fake, like he was kind of pretending to be dead, and he would jump scare you. Either once you get the candy or something. That was probably the most coolest house. There was some genuinely really cool people that went really creative. There was even another house where there was two ladies sitting out in front of the porch, and it was just so creepy enough that the women were just scary. They kind of scared you. They're scary just from like their presence alone, from just being in that little dark corner of the actual house. And then there's of course those people that are just too lazy. They just put the bowl outside and be like, "Hey, just take a couple," and then he would just take like a bunch. Those lazy people. There's a lot of like really creative people that make some really impressive, just amazing things out there. And then there's the other people that are lazy, and then you have the very just pretty much average people that just kind of they put up the decorations and they just kind of sit out there and just kind of just relax and enjoy the Halloween and talk to people, when they come up to the door, that kind of thing. It's really enjoyable. Those are the kind of Halloweens that I remember. But you remember, there's also apparently the news stories that I've been seeing, and I don't know if I think that's still going on to this day. But there's like razor blades and hidden stuff and candy that would kind of like harm children, which, in all honesty, is it's just stupid. Like, what the fuck are you trying to do? Are you trying to harm people? And for like what? Like, what are you like? What's the whole point of trying to scare people? Or is it the fact that it's like you think of Halloween's like one of those kinds of times where you're like, ha, I can finally scare people even on Halloween because it's one of those kinds of months. And I think also Halloween's also one of those kind of months as well that there's police all over the place. They're all over. Like they're constantly patrolling, and that's like one of the kind of months that I think the police hate the most is just that day in particular. So it's fucking mad about what the kind of things happen. So but I fucking I like it though. It's even though that there are those people that kind of ruin it for everyone else, it could still be pretty enjoyable, and I definitely enjoy it for myself too. I think that's all the memories I can remember about my own Halloween. Um, I do remember the kinds of crazy things that people would always do on Halloween, and as well as the news always talking about the bad stuff that would always be around the people's candies and shit, and it's just a bunch of insanity that always happens, and it's insane. But you just gotta love it for it, because that's just people think as though it's an excuse to make up crimes and that kind of thing. Um. Also, it's another one of those kinds of months as well when you tend to watch horror movies. Isn't that right? So, uh, to give you guys my opinions on some horror movies, there is a couple that I like. For example, Nightmare Before Christmas is a very fucking awesome movie. I love it. Haunted House. Oh my god, that movie was my fucking childhood favorite, and I still love it to this day. Whenever it comes on, I always watch it at least once or twice to always just recollect upon my memories, and I just love it. I just love that movie. The Haunted House was amazing. I love the actors. I appreciate the amazing they were able to make, especially with the 3D animations. It's fantastic. It just gives me so much memories of when I used to watch it, in my bedroom, sitting down on the couch and just enjoy some popcorn or some candy, and you just relax, sit back, and just watch some horror movies. Same thing goes with Christmas as well, but I'm not gonna talk about the Christmas movies, even though Walmart is always one of those fucking places where they're like, okay, we're gonna have Halloween decorations in this part of the department, and then we're gonna have Christmas decorations on the other side of the store. It's just like, dude, Christmas is not even here yet. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, calm the hell down. Jesus, we're not even there yet. It's like, just wait. Ugh, it's fucking crazy. um. Also, speaking of Halloween, uh, have you guys played? I don't know if any of you guys did, but Hit and Run, the Simpsons game. There is the seventh level is based around Halloween, and of course you got actual zombies in that, where people actually turn into zombies. That is one of my more favorite levels of all time when it comes to that game. That level is my favorite. Level 7, the zombie level, was fucking awesome. I loved it. I also love the music when you're driving the car. It's fucking crazy. And I love the atmosphere and I love everything about it. It's amazing for what kinds of things they've done in that game. So, and speaking of which of that game as well, they're actually making a Futurama version of that game. I saw that very recently on YouTube and I was like, holy shit. A game all about Futurama with a completely hugely changed design. I'm looking forward to this. Now, it's basically a mod, but I'm kind of like, Jesus, dude. Like, if they are going to go full out with that game, with that mod, and they're going to make tons of changes, I am looking forward to playing that. I don't know what to expect, but considering that they've been working on it for 4 months or like 4 years, that's crazy, dude. That's fucking mad. And I'm really excited to see if that game is going to be following like in a similar style to like Futurama's kind of storyline. Are they going upon their own storyline but Futurama based, or is it going to be a complete ripoff of Simpsons Hit and Run? It's just going to be with different characters, different levels, and or something else. I hope it's a completely like it. I hope it's just like its own design or like its own concept and gameplay, but it's going based off of like Simpsons Hit and Run. So I'm hoping that it's the same concept, just Futurama style with its own story and its own missions. And it's not an exact copy of missions. So I hope I hope that happens. I hope it's nothing like crazy. Like I hope it's not like, very disappointing. But I'm really hoping to watch that, to play that game, because I actually watched Futurama compared to Simpsons Hit and Run. I've never played. I've never watched the actual show of Simpsons. There are some things I've watched in that show, but I've never actually watched the show entirely. Futurama, on the other hand, I did. Same thing goes with Family Guy. Those are the only two shows that I've actually watched. And yet I like Simpsons Hit and Run, so I hope they do great with Futurama. I hope it impresses me just like how Simpsons Run did. So, game developers, if you're watching this video, I hope you did way more than I'm expecting. Because if it's basically a copy just with characters, I'm going to be very, very annoyed. But yeah, do check that out though. Check on YouTube, Futurama Hit and Run. It is a very new game in development, and I am very excited. I hope there's a fucking Halloween version of that one as well. That would be fucking awesome. Okay, so what else? We also got creepy pastas. We got Smiling Dog, which always kind of scared me. Like for some reason, that Smiling Dog and the way how people have done it on YouTube is just terrifying. Slenderman, I can kind of handle his concept. I don't think he's that scary, but it can definitely be kind of frightening when you're playing like a game of him and he just kind of pops up out of nowhere and you're just like, oh shit! And you just kind of freak out. Smiling Dog, on the other hand, I don't know. I get very fucking creeped out by what it is. And you got Jeff the Killer and you got Jason. You got all these fucking crazy things. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be starting to watch the Saw series, which I didn't really watch a whole lot. That's not really my kind of movie because it's too fucking gory to the point where I'm like, too fucking detailed. So it's fucking crazy. That series, I mean, I do think it's a really good series because I know that I've watched the movies, but I wouldn't really say it's a series that I'm gonna watch entirely. I've watched maybe like one or two of the movies, but I completely forgot what they're about. So, I mean, you can expect that from me. You also got the Scream series, and even got the Scary Movie series. That one's fucking hilarious. I love the jokes in that. Even though it's not exactly scary, like I don't really get scared about it, but it's basically a comedy horror kind of movie series. So I'm gonna probably definitely rewatch those movies, even though I did that really recently, but still. But I can't really think of very much else in terms of horror genre that I've personally experienced when it comes to the Halloween spirit. But yeah, I can tell you guys something though. I don't I don't want people to think as though that I'm some kind of pussy, but I hate insects. There is a lot of insects that I look at and I'm instantly grow in fear. Spiders and cockroaches are the number two ones, and I'm like, ugh, and just kind of give me a weird feeling. In fact, I even killed a spider like several weeks ago. Like I would just kind of go into a fight response, and I'm like, I need to kill you. And then I think like a week later, I got a cockroach in my bathroom, but we couldn't find it anywhere. And then recently, I think it was a cricket or a grasshopper that I saw on my bedroom's wall. But I wasn't exactly terrified of it. I just kind of grew aware of it. I was like, oh, hey, that thing's there now. That's cool. I'm pretty sure my cat's going to kill it, though, like it normally does. If there's ever, like, any kind of, like, regular insects, like, anything that's, not obviously dangerous, like a cricket or like a grasshopper, I expect it to die within the first 24 hours after I saw it. After I saw that thing, I'm pretty sure once my cat notices it, it's going to fucking kill it. So I'm not really scared of those things because I know they're not dangerous and I know my cat protects me. It's one of my very favorite things of having a cat is that my cat will kill it once it sees it, and it will fucking eat the thing alive. I've seen tons of creatures get into my room, but I never see them again after I notices them. Like they're instantly dead the next few days afterwards, just because my cat's around it, constantly observing the bedroom. Cockroaches, on the other hand, I don't think my cat would really appreciate it, so I always have to either kill it or get it out of the house. So, and I'm scared of spiders because I know that there are quite a bit out there that are considered to be dangerous and venomous. So I always have to take it upon fight response in order to. I'm not really that scared of spiders. I just kind of have to realize, like, okay, stop being a fucking scared pussy. Get yourself geared up, get a fucking boot or water, and just kill that motherfucker. Make sure it's dead. To kill that. Just kill it. Make sure it doesn't come back. And for as much as spiders is like great, Like they kill things that doesn't belong. That's great. But the problem is their population count. They can begin repopulating. And that's not a good thing. You do not want to get your house to be contaminated with a bunch of spiders, because I can tell you real quick, that's not good for you. I do not want to see like 5 spiders in my fucking bedroom. No, fuck that shit. Even though they're great, I'd prefer if there's only one in the house entirely, and I'm able to keep in control of what the spider's doing. Like, that's the only good thing. As long as I can make sure that the spider doesn't do anything stupid and repopulate and get like a spider sack or whatever, like a baby. What is it? Like a little sack of eggs. I'm not gonna appreciate that. So that's the one thing that I would definitely say is my exception when it comes to spider. Like, I'll accept it as long as that, like, because I'm aware that spiders are great, but I don't have the capability to constantly check it and make sure that it's not repopulating and getting tons of spiders. Like, I know they're great, but it's just not good for me in the long term, because that's kind of a contamination to your entire house. You do not want like a bunch of spiders throughout your house. I'm pretty sure that's going to be terrible. And to be honest, I don't think you should have insects in general in your house. I think you should just get rid of all of it. Whether it's killing or getting rid of them out of your, like kicking them out of the house, it doesn't matter. Just, I don't think any insects in your house is good in general. Get rid of them all and keep your house clean. That's the important part. Because if there's a spider in your house, there's very likely a reason why that's in there. And it's because it realized very quickly that there's some insects in your house. And it's good for it because that means it can kill insects. And it's all because you are attracting insects due to your very horrible behavior and the way that you're not keeping things clean. I am not a good person and not really a reliable person when it comes to cleaning. My bedroom is a fucking mess. And I do not clean my bathroom. So, I mean, my dad does occasionally, but it's just like, I can't keep it clean because I am just too lazy to keep in track of it. Hell, if I had enough money, I'd just hire a fucking maid to come in here and just clean up after me, because I can't do it myself. I need someone else that I can pay to just like, hey, clean up my mess and you will get paid. There you go. That's a good thing there, I guess. Well, that's just an example that I'm just not capable of keeping things together. So it just really shows you something. And don't worry though, I do occasionally, clean up my room, but it's just I do leave stuff just stuck there and not really clean it up until like later on. Which really shows you how much I'm just not really great at living life. But anyway, the point is that I'm scared of insects. And there are, and of course, my actual scared thing here is the fact that yes, I am scared of insects and all that kind of stuff. It just really much depends on what creature it is. And sometimes when I hear that it can bite you, it's like, I don't know if I want that near me, because I don't want to be bit. I don't like being bit in general. That's the kind of thing that I'm kind of worried about all the time. Like, if something bites me, I'm like, how dare you? Yeah. Anyway, that's probably the reason why I hate insects so much, because I don't really know a lot about insects. So whenever I see one, I'm like, is that thing gonna bite me and it's gonna be venomous? Is it dangerous? Does it have some kind of harmful tendencies? Keep that thing away from me. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I can really come up on top of my head. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Be aware this month I am going to probably upload stories onto here. It's going to be some very basic horror stories I'm just going to find on the internet or something like that for the episode, just to kind of keep upon the Halloween vibe. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for listening and or watching this video. I don't know what it is. Do tell me in the comment section below about which one you did. Was it listen or watch? I don't know. I can't tell because this is the past me. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching or listening. I want to advise you that if you subscribe to this channel, over hundreds of millions of spiders are going to crawl away through your screen. And they're going to crawl over to your body and they're going to eat you alive until you are dead. They will eat you and they will lay their spider eggs inside of you. And you will be the new birth of a spider. What I'm basically saying is that you'll become the spider. So anyway, thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys all later. Do not subscribe. And please get the fuck away from me. Because if you get anywhere near me, I'm going to kill you. Actually, I'm just going to hug you. But yeah, anyway, see you all later.